Welcome to the Red Pill for Women. Escape the alternative health matrix. I'm Josie, and I'm so excited about this video today. But before we get started, please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and make sure you check out my free 101 course on autoimmune and chronic illness. You are going to learn everything that your doctors and specialists don't even know to tell you, which is why you got your conditions, the truth of that, why you haven't been getting better, and most importantly, I'm going to share a pathway to permanently resolve your conditions, become healthy again. It's what I've done without supplements, medication, or any kind of food protocols. And so today we're going to be talking about the chronic illness secret, why everything you have tried has failed. This is truly the secret that you haven't heard, that no one is talking about. And this is the red pill. This secret I'm going to share with you, this is an awakening that is going to wake you up to why you are actually still sick, why what you've tried hasn't actually resolved your condition. But most importantly, at the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what to do, the steps to take that I have taken to permanently resolve your chronic illness or autoimmune disease. It is simple, and I'm going to share with you again at the end of this video. And so let's get started. This video was absolutely inspired from my own experience. Again, I used to have 8 autoimmune diseases. I had a host of chronic illnesses in my 20s. And like many of you, I was stuck in a hamster wheel of symptom management, trying supplements, diets, medications, doing Western medicine, doing alternative medicine. I finally found something that worked. It didn't involve any kind of symptom management, and I was able to permanently heal all of my conditions and be a normal, healthy person again. This awakening and transformation truly inspired me to say, I have to do this. So I left my career as a therapist. I trained for 5 years with my mentor to teach the program that I went through. But most importantly, I was so excited to share this message of true healing and hope with other people. I thought that the general population of chronic illness and autoimmune would be thrilled to know they didn't have to live with their conditions anymore. But here's the thing. I now know how naive I was, because the truth of what I actually experienced when I started sharing this message with people, that their conditions were not lifelong, that they could heal and resolve them, was exactly the opposite of what I thought. I would meet with people that would tell me how challenging, how hard their conditions were, that they had lost almost everything, that they were truly at the rock bottom. But when I would share with them that what they had is something that they could actually resolve, that they could go back to being healthy again, what I was met with was something I didn't expect. I was met often with people being upset at me, being argumentative, and most importantly, excuses, reasons why they couldn't. And it baffled me. A person would say that they were at the end of their rope, that they felt even like they were dying. And then when I shared, it's okay, there's a way out, I would hear that it wasn't the right time. Maybe when the kids are out of the house, or that they just didn't have the money quite yet. Maybe they were doing some remodeling on their house. People needed to buy new furniture, or they just didn't quite want to do it. Or what if it didn't work for them? I have 100% success rate. I had confidence, and I was met with excuses and reasons why they couldn't time and time again. And I didn't understand why. I started to wonder what I was doing wrong. It made me feel like that I wasn't serving the population that I knew so well, because it had been me. And what could I do differently? And over time, what I have come to realize is something that I like to call the secret. It's the same reason that when sometimes people come through my program, I do a before and after evaluation. And when they see that they're actually resolving their chronic conditions, they also can get upset or argumentative or defensive with me. And again, it all comes down to something that we all share as people with chronic illnesses and autoimmune diseases. It's the elephant in the room. And my 100% success rate actually exposes the secret in us. And it truly is the reason why everything we have tried up until now has failed, why we still have our conditions. And again, this is the red pill. I know this from my own experience, being someone who had these conditions. And so what I'm about to share with you, please listen up. This is the secret, and I know it again because I did it too. The secret is that as a person with chronic illness or an autoimmune disease, we present the illusion to our friends and family that we want to get better, all the while secretly wanting to stay sick as an excuse from life that we know no one will ever question. Again, this is the secret that we all have. And it's this: as a person with a chronic illness or autoimmune disease, we are people who present the illusion that we want to get better and that we want to heal to our friends and family. But all the while, kind of behind the scenes, we're secretly wanting to stay sick as an excuse from life that no one will ever question. Again, I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me who knew that I was using my illnesses and my symptoms and conditions as my excuse in life, that I secretly wanted to hold on to them, and that I even knew how to manipulate and aggravate my symptoms as a way to not have to do life and as an opt out of life. Here's the thing. I found it's all of us. I bring up this secret from time to time with the students that I work with, and everybody looks like the floor has dropped. Like their mouth drops. They look at me like, "How do you know this?" And I always tell them, "Hey, it's okay. We all thought it was just us that knew, that had this secret, but we all have it. We all share it, and it is truly the thing that is keeping us from getting better." And so here's what we actually do, because we don't actually want to get rid of our conditions and we're creating this illusion. We pretend to do all of these things to get better, like symptom management, doing medications, supplements, food diets, seeing alternative practitioners. I know I was hopping from doctor to doctor, practitioner to practitioner, making myself look like a martyr, getting a lot of attention for how hard I was trying. And here's what I like to call it: what we're doing is actually autoimmune disease and chronic illness theater. It's a show we put on. It's a show we put on because the truth is we don't really want to get better. We just want to make it look like we are trying to get better. Again, all the while holding on to our conditions because of the excuse that it gives us out of life. And I want you to know, we are not bad people, okay? This doesn't make us bad. This doesn't make us wrong. There is a real reason why we do this, all right? And the reason is because we're people who are emotionally overwhelmed by life. Life has felt, for people with autoimmune and chronic illness, challenging, hard, and scary. And we've always been looking for a way out. So we quickly realize that when we get diagnosed with a chronic illness or autoimmune disease, it is the golden ticket, the golden excuse, the ironclad opt out of life, a reason for why we can't for anything, but most importantly, that no one would ever question. And so we use our conditions and our illnesses, and I'm speaking about this from my own experience, as a way to not have to go out in life and try as hard as everybody else. I know when I had my illnesses, I always had a reason why I didn't have to be at work if I didn't want to, or I could leave early, or I could opt out of family events, friend gatherings, anything that might have felt too overwhelming. I mean, as women, we don't have to step up as much in our role as a wife or as a mother, and we always have a reason to, turn off the lights, to stay in bed, to sit on the couch, to watch Netflix. It truly is our press pause button in life. So I know for me, I was scared of what was going to be next in my life, that next step. Well, with an autoimmune disease or chronic illness, we don't have to take that next step in life. And also, it gives us an identity. Over time, I strongly began to identify as a sick person, as a chronically ill person. I realized that not only was it a wonderful excuse that no one would question, I got so much attention and sympathy from my family, my loved ones, my doctors. And as a woman, I got to be taken care of by my family. I mean, all of these benefits, it makes sense why we don't actually want to get better, but we create the illusion that we want to. And so, why we don't really want to resolve our condition is because if we resolved our condition, we would lose our excuse. We would have to go back out into life like everybody else. We'd have to do all the hard things, the things that have felt overwhelming or challenging in the past. We wouldn't be special. We wouldn't be different. And we would never have an excuse for why we can't. Right. And that is why we don't actually want to be healthy and resolve our condition. But the thing is, this is sad. This is so sad. And I look back on myself and think, oh my gosh, Josie, that we are so terrified of getting out in life that we would rather maintain a condition and live a subpar life, never actually fulfilling our full potential, never actually reaching our dreams because we want an excuse, because the excuse is more important than fulfilling the path and the light of our life that we are born into and can achieve. What I want you to know is that there is a solution, there is a way out. And here's the thing, it comes down to a camp that we've been living in that we've never known. We never knew that we, as people with autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses, have been living in camp victim. That's right. This is really important. You have been living in camp victim. We have been living in camp victim, and we did not know, because there are two camps in life that a person can live from. There is camp victim, and that is the camp that we have all lived in our whole lives if we have a chronic illness or autoimmune disease. And there's camp taking responsibility. And camp taking responsibility is the camp we move into where we permanently heal and resolve our conditions, and we no longer need the secret anymore. And camp victim, again, is a place we never knew we were living in. And it is an experience of being in the passenger seat of the car of our life. And in this car, being in the passenger seat, we have lived our whole life. And I can speak this from my experience. I lived my whole life feeling like life was happening to me, feeling overwhelmed and challenged by the losses, by my past, by my experiences that I couldn't quite figure out. That no matter what I did, I felt like I could never get above the water. I always felt like I couldn't change. Everything I did didn't work, whether that was therapy, whether that was my self-help books, whether that was my career. I never felt fulfilled. I was always scared of the next shoe to drop. And it truly felt like the hard times in life kept happening to me, and I had no control over it. I really felt like I was just drowning and floundering in this pool of life. And it felt like everybody else had it figured out except me. And the older I got, the more I felt incompetent and scared to even admit it. And here's the thing, we can't heal in camp victim. All right. When life feels like it's always coming at us and happening to us, because over time, we've all lived in camp victim. Life feels more and more challenging. It feels more and more emotionally overwhelming. And what happens is that emotional overwhelm that grows and builds in camp victim and feeling really powerless and out of control at a very deep level in our life, that experience is actually what causes our body to go into a dysregulation and to begin attacking itself and create chronic illnesses and autoimmune diseases. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. And this camp victim also plays also into why we're not getting better. Because in camp victim, again, being in the passenger seat of my life, I'm also in the passenger seat of my illness. It truly feels like that my illness and my conditions happened to me, that they were coming from these external outside forces like my genetics, like foods, like toxins, like Epstein-Barr virus, like bacteria, and I couldn't find a way out. And so trapped in this bubble of camp victim, I go around in circles. This is what's happening with you. We go around in circles and we feel worse and worse about ourselves, that we can't emotionally get out of it and we can't physically heal. And so instead, We create a life. Again, this is where the secret plays in, making it look like we're trying, living a life as a martyr, getting attention and sympathy from our loved ones, and not knowing any kind of pathway out of this. But I'm here to tell you that there is another choice. And this has been the most impactful thing for me. And I'm so excited to be able to share this with you because the thing is, you never knew you had a different choice in Camp Victim. And I'm here to tell you that you do. The solution is the red pill. It is the awakening of the awareness that there's another camp that you can live your life in. And in this camp is where your body will heal and you will emotionally heal as well. And this camp is called Camp Taking Responsibility. And it is the awakening and the awareness that there's another way to live. And when you realize that you have a choice, that you don't have to live in Camp Victim anymore, where life is happening to us and we feel out of control, that there is a camp taking responsibility where I am in control and I turn into the driver of the car of my life. I move from the passenger to the driver, and I suddenly realize that I am in control of my life and I'm actually in control of my health, that I'm in the driver's seat and I am driving this car of my life, and that everything I do and my emotional state is me. And I am in control of it. And we take back our power and control to all the life experiences and the things that we've given away to, whether that's losses, our past relationships and past challenges and experiences. We re-empower ourselves and we can see our future again. That in Camp Taking Responsibility, we are no longer living day to day. We are no longer living feeling like we are a fraud in a facade, that we are who we say we are, and that you can actually be the creator of your life in Camp Taking Responsibility, that you know how to take care of yourself, you know how to pick yourself back up, and you know how to work through life's challenges instead of feeling pummeled by them. And in Camp Taking Responsibility, guess what? There is no need for the secret. We have no need for an excuse from life, right? We become the driver in the car. We're no longer the passenger. And that, again, that secret naturally dissolves and our body naturally re-regulates, goes back into homeostasis, heals and self-repairs. And even better than that, we have a future, we have dreams, and we are actually, for the very first time in our life, not stuck, both personally and in our health, but we are moving forward. And so here is my message today. This is my message. This is so important. Are you ready? Our emotional state is the root cause of our autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses. I'm going to say this again. Our emotional state, it's our emotional state. It's the root cause of our autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses. Our physical body is simply a reflection of our internal emotional state. That's all. So, because we've been living in Camp Victim, and that's where you are when we have a chronic illness and autoimmune, we didn't even know it. In Camp Victim, that's where we have an unhealthy emotional state, and the body goes into a dysregulation and reflects this. In Camp Taking Responsibility, just knowing that you have the choice, it's this red pill, it's an awakening. You resolve your emotional state, you become in control of yourself and your life and where you are going. And from that place, your body reflects it and heals and self-repairs. And so, to sum up everything we've talked about today, we all have this secret. Again, creating the illusion that we want to get better, but the truth is that we want to hold on. We want to maintain our conditions because it's the excuse from life, because we've been living in Camp Victim. And there is a way out. It is to move from Camp Victim to Camp Taking Responsibility, to go from the passenger seat of our life, which we all have felt, into the driver's seat of your life, which is also the driver's seat of your health, becoming in control of yourself, your emotional state, your responses to life. You move forward, you actually heal and self-repair, and you move forward in life into the dreams that you've always had as a healthy person. as a healthy person in camp taking responsibility. That is how you heal. And we have no need, we can rip up that excuse card. We have no need for the secret anymore. And so thank you so much for joining me for this video. The first step is to make sure that you check out my free 101 course on autoimmune disease and chronic illness. It is a wonderful source of information. No one's telling you. I'll talk about the journey of why you got your conditions, the way out that doesn't involve any kinds of supplements, medication, or food protocols. No one is talking about this. This is the option that isn't alternative medicine or Western medicine. It is how you actually heal. And it will teach you how to go from camp victim to camp taking responsibility. And if you are ready to take this journey, take this awakening, take this red pill, and finally give up the excuse, give up the card of getting out of life and get back out there in life as a healthy person, completely resolved of your conditions. I have two 13-week online educational programs. I have the chronic illness healing program. I have the autoimmune healing program. Both programs take a person from camp victim to camp taking responsibility, to we're maintaining our conditions into permanently healing and going out into life and being a normal, healthy person again, ripping up that secret card. And if you're curious to see if you'd be a good fit for either of my programs, sign up for a complimentary consultation with me. The link is going to be in the description here below. I would love to share this pathway of true healing with you and to empower you to know that you, just like I had to learn, no longer need to hold on to your secret anymore. You can free yourself from your conditions and become healthy again.